Connect up. Streaming problems, bro. Don't know what to tell you.
I found this on the web.
No shush. The other day that went flat on me halfway through the day. How good's that apple? Right, let's just put this in here. I've literally only just got in. Oh no, don't do that. Wants me to share it out. You can share it out if you will. It's just something in the way. Here we go. No, that's not where we go with it. That's better. It's always a lot better if you sit up. Oh dear. It's a bit dark on this one. I've got the lights on. I think that camera on that iPhone is far superior to this. And you can say what you like. That's it. So, I think. Right. I'm not going to touch it anymore. I can stay where it is. So hopefully somebody's going to pop in. Be a lot easier if I put that onto the proper one. All messages. And you get absolutely everybody then. I think YouTube stopped doing that thing where they share things out. Even though I mentioned share it out once before and it goes up to about 20. It's a bit dark in here, isn't it? See if I can get it to... there's probably a setting for that when I find it. Probably not. So I noticed last week when I was doing this live, I'd put the microphone over there and then spent a lot of time with my head over this side and you couldn't hear what I was saying. It sounded really echoey, so I decided I'd put it down there today. So I've got it just there. This one might be one of those that nobody's going to come in on. We usually do pretty well. So today was a bit of a date. I decided I was going to stop out a bit later, if I'm honest, because it's Tuesday night. I was enjoying myself. And then a young lady decided to stand a bottle of water in the middle of the back seat. And it was leaking. Well, it's cloth seats. So that's me done for the evening. So a couple more people rang up and I said, how many people's in there? Hello, Mila, how you doing? Nice to see you. Everybody welcome. Thanks for popping in. Scott Wood. Hi, Mick. Hope you're well. Yeah, good. Yeah, I was just saying, somebody stood a bottle of water in the middle of the back seat and it's leaked. So I managed to get another couple of jobs in because when they rang up, I said, how many people is there? They said, oh, one. So we're going to sit in the front then. I mean, that's fine. I explained to them what was going on. It wasn't somebody's back end. It was just, people just take water everywhere and they just stand it on your seat and they don't put the cap on right and it leaks all over. To them, it doesn't matter, but to me, it's definitely a game changer because I say I could have probably kept going for another half an hour, which is pretty boring. So this camera is definitely not as good as that iPhone, and that's what I'm going to tell you. 13 people, so we're getting the surge that YouTube put in. They send it out and they see how many people it'll catch. So 1 minute you're on 25, the next minute you're on 10. And then the minute after that you're on about 2, and it just goes up and down. You can get quite a lot of people through. It's a good system, to be honest. Just change that to that. Oh, no, don't do that. Oh, I think that's what I did last week when I got rid of chat. Oh God, what's that? I think that's what I did to Graham. Now I've got rid of the chat. How do you get that back? No, press that, stupid boy. I'll do it. Yeah, I actually took Graham out last week and banned him. Graham spelled correctly. Obviously, I didn't do it on purpose. He got in touch with me and he said, for some reason, X-Fairy, how you doing? Nice to see you. If you want to pop where you're from, tell us how you're doing. Benji Wilson, hey up Mick, how you doing Benji? Nice to see you buddy. Hope you're doing well. These things go quite well. If you're interested next week, I'll be in Spain. I'm going to do some sunset live streams if I can get a decent data connection, because that's always a thing, isn't it? I don't think it would work so well on a video, but I'm going to do some videoing around where we're going. So hopefully we'll make some. Subscribe. We're on 298 subscribers. I actually managed to get to 300 the other day, and then we lost one, and then we lost another one. How are you doing, Ben? Benji, how are you, mate? Good to see you. I know exactly who you are. Nice to see you, mate. I was just telling these lovely people I was just busy working away, and somebody spilled a bottle of water in the middle of the back seat, so I've had to come home. Which I was into it. I was enjoying myself. So I'm home alone now. Crazy. I usually do finish about 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night, but sometimes you're actually into it and you're dodging about and it's quite busy and you're sort of enjoying yourself, but not, unfortunately. So if you do come through, where we go? How's it going, Mick? Does that spell poison? Is it supposed to? How you doing? Nice to see you, buddy. Now, where are you, Skegness? I picked Bev up tonight, she was saying that she'd been, Bev in Litland. And I've known her since she was about 10 years old, and for some strange reason, I can't remember her name all of a sudden. It'll come to me in a minute. No, it's gone. Yeah, poison, yeah. Yeah, I picked him up earlier, so they said they'd had a good week anyway. But it was this time last week when I was still in, no, it was the Monday night. I actually walked from Mablethorpe to Skegness a week yesterday. So I know every bit about the place now. I know how wide Butlins is anyway. It seems about 50 mile wide when you're tired and you're trying to walk past it. Where am I at? I'm in the middle of England, middle of the UK, Lincolnshire, in the middle of the UK. Where are you at? Are you UK or somewhere else? It's a pretty cool. Are you a photographer? Have you gone for the really cool profile photo, or is it just downloaded from the internet like everybody else's? Mine's actually downloaded from one of my videos. I just screen grabbed it and put it in. Oh, Utah. Never been there. I missed your charity page, Mick, but I did donate to the main page last night. All right. There was 780. Originally I set it at 200 quid, but they wouldn't seem to allow me to do that. It won't go through. And then I changed it to 500. And I thought, well, 500 is a big ask, isn't it, really? Because people, they ain't got that much money, you know, and you're not getting anything back for it. It's a pure donation. Just some old guy walking about with a camera, chattering about places you probably don't know. And it sort of sneaked up there. And there was a beautiful lady who we all know. And she put 50 quid in to finish it off. And which was really, really kind of her. But what she didn't know, I'd already got 120 in cash donations, and then I got another 70 this weekend. People from the Blues Club in Gainsborough found out that I'd done it, and they had a quick whip round, and they come out with another 70 quid, another 50 odd quid, and then a friend of mine, he says, I'm going to give you £1 a mile. I said, all right, so he gave me 18 quid, which is cool. One of my drinking buddies as well, my ex-drinking buddies. He still drinks, I don't, but we will still be drinking buddies, just not ale. Pretty national parks. Look up, actually. Utah. I've not been to Utah. I've been to Florida. I've been to Florida 4 times. I've been to Vegas once. And I've been to Chicago for the weekend. Took some stuff over for a company many moons ago. So I open to some of the US. I actually do like the US. I like the way in the US that you can get a broom mantle and strap a V8 to it and then fly down the freeway and nobody ever says anything. It's your fuel prices are better than ours and more suitable to some beautiful V8 stuff. I've been. That's the trouble if I come to the US. It costs me a fortune to upgrade the car when I get to the airport. I'm an upseller's dream when it comes to hire vehicles. You sort of go in there expecting a I don't know, I can't think what we were supposed to have last time. I think we were going to have a Mustang last time. Ended up with the Ford Explorer, 7-seater. Time before that I went and we ended up with I can't think what we were going to have then. But I ended up with Infiniti was it Q80, Q90, like a same shape as a Range Rover, a V8, all done out in white leather and white wool. It was absolutely stunning, that car. It was a lot of money as well. Time before that, we had this was a lot of years before, so we had a Cadillac DeVille, a 96 Cadillac DeVille, not a 96, 2006. And the time of that before, it was 2004, and we had a Grand Cherokee Jeep, one of the new ones at the time. When you see them now, they look really dated. It's the same as what the Cadillacs do. They look really dated. If you see a 2006 Cadillac now, it looks really old, and probably not in a good way, you know. But I had one. I drove it all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, and obviously back again, and all round Orlando and all over the place. We stayed in Clearwater for a week as well, and I stayed in St. Pete. It's beautiful, beautiful place. I love the States. I don't know where else I'd like to go to. I mean, Texas is really warm, isn't it? So I don't know whether I could stand that sort of heat. But I don't know what the theme would be. Boston looks really nice as well. I've seen, I watched the film, well, I've watched, you know, a lot of places have use Boston, don't they, for films and things like that. And I shouldn't mind visiting that, because that looks really cool. I was watching a thing once about, I can't think what it was. It was some sort of abuse thing, where they all got together and all the perpetrators got caught out. And it was a true story, it turned out to be. It was actually one of them films that you watch on a plane. I'd rather watch Texas and Montana are huge, yeah. Yeah, it'd be difficult. I mean, Florida's really, really warm, isn't it? So it's difficult to explore in somewhere that's that warm. So you'd have to go at a different time of year if you wanted to have a look round, other than theme parks. Because theme parks are okay. I mean, they fill a purpose, don't they? And a lot of people come, you know, it brings in a lot of tourism. We went down to Tampa as well and did that one at Tampa. It was weird, really, because we were staying in Kissimmee, or Kissimmee as some people call it. We were actually in Haynes or Davenport, I think it was. And we were staying there, and then we drove down to do that park at Tampa, drove back again. And the following week, we were just round the corner from it. It looks very, very beautiful. And I know where you mean with Montana. I've actually seen, I think sometimes you're just clicking through and you find the odd nature program or a story about people's lives, and I quite like to watch stuff like that. When I've watched a film, I like to know something more than what I did before I started watching it, because a lot of stuff nowadays is fluff, isn't it? You're just watching fluff, and when it's gone off, you're still trying to work out the plot, or you'd already worked it out halfway through, and it all seems a bit pointless. But so if you actually finish watching a film and you know something about it, or a movie in your case, then it's got to be worth a go, isn't it, really? They're a bit thin on the ground today. The thing is with this here YouTube, as you get into the warmer evenings and the summertime, there's always, I've been doing YouTube now for 5 years, which is quite long, because a lot of new channels disappear within 6 months. But I've got 3 channels. One I used to do with a guy called Bill, which was an e-cigarette channel, and then I started one called Mick Review Stuff, and I actually promoted that, so that's got over 5,600 subscribers. But it was one of those channels where it was an alone channel. There was no real community to it, and it's not really my style. I like somebody to talk to, somebody to show things to. I actually got a request for a review on there today as well. Sadly, it was baby's toys, and I'm a bit wrong end of the spectrum. Yes, right, yeah, I'm the same. We started the end of 2019. I went to the US in the September of 2019, and I'd been vaping for ages. And I went and I took my computer because I used to use Zoom to talk to my friends in America. So I went when I went over there, I took it with me so I could talk to them in real time. It was amazing. And then all of a sudden one night I clicked on YouTube and I actually found a show about vaping. It's the first one I'd ever seen. And that was it. I was hooked. And in the end, I ended up going on most of these shows. They had that many subscribers. They were massive, massive accounts. And I've ended up friends with at least one of them. I mean, the other ones have sort of died out. But they've sort of packed it up. But you fancy doing a holiday channel? God, that'd be all right, wouldn't it? The only trouble is the motivation when you actually get there. Especially, because you think, right, I'm going to do a video. And then you go up and you think, nah, I'm going to lie in a sunbed. I don't know if you watch TikTok, but this time of year, if you watch TikTok, you get people, they're not I'm not media trained in any way, shape or form. I can talk for half an hour about most things, but these people, it's the first thing they've ever done. And the person that you used to meet around the pool that wanted to moan about the accommodation and then get some money back when they get home, they've now found themselves to TikTok. So what they do is they film every part of the misery that they're putting themselves through, ready to inform the company that they want some money back when they get home. How much of a shambles everything is and how filthy and dated the hotel room is even. And you look at it and you think, it's probably dated in our country, but it's a completely different style there. Hello, Anki, how you doing, buddy? And they're just doing this, mundane. Oh, and the food was absolutely terrible. We were all inclusive in Benidorm. It was 3-star. And you think, what do you expect? If you weren't hungry when you stopped eating it, that's as good as you can expect in a 3-star. I like your pictures on the wall. Want to blow your mind to the redwoods in Northern California. The trees are way huge, 25 feet wide. Wow. Yeah, that would be enormous. Our trees are generally, I think the maximum is probably 6 foot. And that would be an old tree that's been there 200 years. I think we have got a fairly big one in Sherwood Forest. But they're just, our trees are that wide, a bit like twice as wide as that. That's about as far as you get. But there is some big, like I say, there is some really big old ones. But that is really cool, that, isn't it? It's a good looking picture, that. I think it's a good picture. To qualify as a good picture, you've got to look at it every time you walk past it. Is that your giant Landau? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I've done a bit of travelling. I've done like Egypt and Mexico. And Mexico really, they're all inclusive with entertainment and beer. You don't really get a chance to wander about there because some places are dangerous. So I've done to Dominican Republic, and that's a similar sort of experience. You don't go out wandering about. You can soon get robbed at gunpoint. I have no idea why I'm yawning. I've had one of them weeks this week that I don't go to sleep very early and I wake up. It's Tuesday, innit? It is, mate. Welcome to Tuesday. I was actually going to put that in the thing. Do you mind if I steal that? California is, isn't it? I've never been to California, but there's a lot of places in California that look very beautiful. Then the trouble is, California is a little bit like London, with the relationship that London has to the UK. It's like a different country on its own. And everything's a lot more expensive from what I believe in California, but I've never been. Another one I fancied is Canada. Jacksonville, Florida. Come to Jacksonville, Florida, you can get mugged at gunpoint here too. Exactly. Nice. Yeah. You can get, you can get mugged at knife point more often than not. it's not very often you would. You'd have to be pretty unlucky to see a gun, but you definitely get mugged at knife point. And it's quite common now to get your pocket dipped as well in certain big cities, because that's what they're trained to do, aren't they? You're fabulous. I'll look forward to it. I'll put all my best gold on. Yeah, that's right. I was talking to a police officer over here, and obviously, the rule of thumb, police officers over here don't carry guns. You have to be a specialist unit, and on the cars they've got a little orange star, like a little orange squiggly thing, which then tells you that they've got guns in that car. They don't carry them on them. They're actually locked up in a safe in the back. I don't know if they carry a handgun, but the rifles are locked up in a safe in the boot. So if the car tipped over and they were both killed, it doesn't allow you to then run off with the guns. You know what I mean? That type of thing. But I was talking to these guys and I said, have you ever had a gun pointed at you? He said, in my line of work, in my working career, he said, I've never even seen a gun from the other side. But he said, I've seen plenty of knives. And he said, what we worry about is knives. Because he said, you go into a domestic violence or a domestic abuse or just a drunken argument between two people that get on perfectly well every other day of the week. And as soon as you walk into a kitchen, there's a drawer full of weapons in the corner of the kitchen. And they're drunk. So he said, that's what we worry about. We don't worry about that. He said, I'm more chance of getting stabbed than I ever have of being shot, because that's the way it is. Things with a knife as well, it's up close, isn't it? It's a lot more personal, I think, if you get stabbed. Somebody would have to literally come up to you to do it. But with a gun, you can be indiscriminate, can't you? You can be across the road, in a different room, get it like a ricochet off it or something like that. It could come through a wall. Not every gun, obviously, because they're not strong enough, but you could be stood the wrong side of a window. But with a knife, it's a fairly personal thing, isn't it? They've literally got to come up with the intentions of sticking that knife in you. And I think that's probably what makes it more scary. I've been to the pointy end of the police guns. Long story, but I had firearms in the house. So normal protocol. Graham spelt correctly. Good evening, sir. And I promise to not ban you this week. No, exactly. Knives also don't make a loud noise, yeah. Yeah, they do. I've never stabbed anybody, so I wouldn't know, but that's right. That's exactly right. And they're easily concealed. I suppose the thing is with a gun, you would pull it out and boof. If you pulled a knife out, you've then got to transfer that into something. But when you get somebody with a severe mental health problem, schizophrenic or something like that, and they're as strong as 10 men when they're in an episode, or 2 men at the very least, and that would take some holding back, like a raging bull with a knife. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, not this week. I worked out how I did it. It was when I was doing the messages, because I nearly did it to Scott Wood tonight. So I've worked out what I did. You press it to go from, I don't know if it's the same, it won't be the same for you, but I'm casting. I've got the orders. I'm not even tired. I don't know what's going on with me this week. I need an holiday. But you can obviously set it to live chat, just the same as what you can on a computer. And what I did to sort of refresh it was put it to no chat. And when I went back to go from no chat to live chat, it didn't give me the option. What you have to do is wait for it, then press your finger in the left-hand corner and it'll do it for you that way. So this is a cup of tea that I took to work this afternoon. Steve... Hello, Steve. Anyway, my wife has worms in her vagina. How's the smell? Well, if they die, they die. So you have to keep them. What's that? Can you all take back Harry and Meghan? We don't want them here anymore. No. Why should it cost us millions of pounds a year? You can have them. That's a shame, to be honest. Didn't this guy get fucked in prison? I've never been to prison. Is that me? Did you mean me? Or was it you? I bet it was you. Nice, Steve. I love worms. Have a gap in my teeth. Fit perfectly. We're only here for the comments. Just remember that. We're only here for the comments. Hey, Mick and everyone. Swans and Wildlife. Good evening, John. How you doing? Apparently you've been interviewing Simon at some point, so I'm going to have a look at that. That should be interesting. He's doing well with that channel, 1,040 subscribers. I don't remember ever been to prison, but I suppose if I did go to prison, I might try it. You know, when you port in a storm, you never know. I've got to this age group without doing that, so I'll give it a whirl. Cheers. This is my Top Gear cut. They all of a sudden last year became a lot cheaper. I've moved the microphone so I'm not swiping at it either. It was just a small chat while out filming. Yeah, like me and Liz last week. She said I didn't even realise the microphone would pick me up. I was just talking to Grandad. She actually was surprised it picked everything up he said. You ever been to any Masonic lodges in the UK? No, I haven't. No, definitely not. It's not really something. They tended to. I don't know if they still do it, to be honest. There is a Masonic lodge where I live, just here. I don't know why I winked like that. I did a funny thing with my aunt because I think that's what they do, innit? But I've never been to one. It certainly 20 years ago it was a big thing, and a lot of things were discussed. A lot of business was done with people from the same lodge as you, wasn't it? I've took somebody to one, and they used to be one here. I don't know if they're still doing it. Next week, mate. Have you been yet? Oh, you're going September, right? Yeah, I'm going next week, so hopefully we shall get a few sunsets in. I'm quite looking forward to going, to be honest. It'd be nice. I haven't been away for a while. Funny handshake, yeah, the funny handshake. Well, Luke M, are you still alcohol free? I am, buddy, yeah. Yep, still alcohol free. Not touched a drop. Not since 13th of November. It'll not be much longer and I'll soon be able to say into the drink for a year. It's sort of left me now, to be honest. There's the odd day. I say that one thing that does get me, you'll be watching a drama on the telly and they've got a massive slug of whiskey in a really good glass. And that's the only thing that bothers me, is spirits. I got a Snowman Mankini. I need a full frontal this time. Excellent. Snowman Mankini. When do you fly, Scott? We don't fly on Monday. I don't know how we managed to do that. We normally fly on a Saturday or Sunday, but this time we're not flying well Monday. All right. So your second week then. You're on our second week. So this one was donated to us by some lady. Obviously with Lou being poorly, she said, you need to come and stop in my villa. So they rented it for a week, and then we said, would you mind if we rented it off you for the second week? She said, no, you're more than welcome. So that's what we've done. How are you going for a week? Still miss the smell of a fresh cig. Other than that, I don't care for it. I get what you're saying. Advertisements and programs can trigger certain things. Yeah, definitely years and years ago when I used to try and stop smoking, if I was watching a drama, you'd watch somebody exhaling a cigarette or a pipe. And that used to turn me back to that. Adverts don't, I'll be honest. Adverts don't do anything to me at all. Not for drinking anyway. Odd times I'll pop into a shop with my wife, and obviously there's a wall full of alcohol because everybody's entitled to buy it because it's perfectly legal. And I'll say to her, right, I'm going to move out of here because it's not doing me any good today. And then the next time I can walk up and down there, no problem. But for some reason, it's dark spirits that seem to trigger me off. And got any advice about what advice do you need, Mike? About alcohol? I don't think I'm really qualified to. I think really the first thing to do if you're at the depth of alcoholism, don't stop drinking all in one day, whatever you do, because you'll kill yourself. I look well tanned. Yeah, I've started using fake tan now. I'm YouTube famous because it sort of sets it off, doesn't it? Really, I've just got to have my teeth bleached white and I look like I've been to Turkey. Now it's this camera, mate. It's a bit darker in here tonight. That walk, I actually burnt the top of my head with that walk. I got a bit of sunstroke. It was 17 degrees. Booze and FAHD with I don't know what FAHD is. I mean, there's loads of places you can go to, but I don't know really. I was looking. You look through TikTok, and there's a lot of people on there giving advice. And the first thing you've got to remember is if you want to stop drinking, is that you can't have any more. And that is the most daunting thing because you've used it that many times to cheer you up or chill you out, or and it just takes something out, and it's been a massive part of your life, and then all of a sudden it's not available to you anymore. Unless you want to carry on doing it, you know what I mean? So you have to do something else. When we have to on holiday, what's a place called Mareira in the Costa Blanca, flying to Alicante, and it's 93 kilometres from the airport, down near Calpe, past Benidorm by about 30 miles, I think it is. We're going in a villa. I'm going with my daughter and the two youngest for the first week. My grandson and eldest granddaughter are coming out on the weekend of the second week. And then my grandson's coming back home again because he don't want to miss school, and my granddaughter's staying with us. Scott World, I was teetotal for a year before I joined the Saturday show. Thing is, it's very difficult because you look at some people and in the depths of despair with it, and I was getting to be in despair with it, but I wasn't getting up drinking special brew in the morning, out like that, but makes you wonder in the next couple of years. Off to Menorca, to the family villa, darling. Yeah, I'm waistline on Monday. Where do you live, Luke? Which airport are you going in? We're going from East Midlands. Are you only drinking that? Yeah. Yeah, well, if you only drink at night, you only drink at night, yeah. I would only ever drink at night. But it got to be extended. The amount of hours would be extended. I would drink for 9-10 hours if I could get away with it. 12 hours if I could. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Yeah, well, if you know it's too much, you got to pack it in. If you think that. What? No, it didn't. I wasn't taking the Michael. The family villa, darling. No, it's not at all. If you've got a place over there, and all well and good, mate. I did a few years ago. I actually consulted pulling my pension to put a deposit down on a flat in Torrox, Costa, and it would this one because if you've got enough money to buy a property in Spain and you're going to service it and you're going to use it, there's nothing wrong with it. But for me, I wouldn't have had enough money to completely buy it, so they've ended up with it on a mortgage. And then you've got all the service charge for apartments and stuff like that. It'd have bankrupted me. It absolutely would have bankrupted me in the pandemic. I'd have lost this house, I'd have lost that place, I'd have lost everything. My dad was alcoholic, so I get it. Now I make my own and I have 200 pints right beside me there, that's it. That's the secret. Enver Hodjar. Good evening. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Get a camper. I did look into that as well. So to say, I found a camper 8,500. The thing is with that is it was a toll button. It could be £8,500 worth of trouble. You know what I mean? What I do I drive a cab for a living. I used to manage to fit it in with running a business as well. Yeah, the trouble is with that, you've got to travel back, haven't you? It's a bit like going for a walk at Skegness, park your car up at Skegness, walk to Mablethorpe. You've either got to get a lift back, a bus back, or walk it. Yeah, we've had the villa, been in the family for 25 years plus. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know a guy. Where Scott's going, he's going to Torremolinos. Well, in the Carrawayler area of Torremolinos, there's the Hotel Barracuda, and right next door there's an apartment block called the Montemar Puerto. And the guy that owns an apartment in there must be 150 apartments, and it's a beautiful apartment. It really is absolutely gorgeous, all done out white marble, lifts up to it and everything, so you can get your cases up there. Absolutely beautiful place. But the reason he bought that was he got dragged into a timeshare, because at the time it was massive in that area. So he got dragged into a timeshare, and he got his head on. So he's sort of there thinking and listening, and in the end he said, no, I don't want to buy it. Very, very resilient bloke. No, I don't want to buy one. I'm off. So he just left. So and he went and bought this place off plan. The pool went in. There was just the concrete stanchions up for the apartment. There was a hole where the pool was going to be, no pool in there. And I think he paid something like 15, 20 grand for it 35 years ago. And now it's prime real estate, really, where it is. There's a view, there's a sea view, there's a pool view. You look over the pool out to the sea. You walk out the gate onto the Carrawayler, and then within 15 feet, you're on the beach. It's absolute prime real estate. I dread to think how much it's worth. Yeah, off plan, yeah, bought it off plan, yeah. But I say we're talking a lot of years ago. He's had it 35 years, probably. It would be trouble, Mick. I fancy van life, but my wife won't. I could sell our house, set up the kids with the flats, and have enough money to live off grid. I would still need it. Well, yeah, but the thing is, what you can do is not set the kids up with flats. I watch Stephen, Country Van Life TV, and he's retired now. He retired about 2 years ago, and he just lives in his van, Christine. And he went to the Isle of Mull for 6 months this time. Had a massive heart attack while he was there. Laid in bed 2 days, thinking he was going to die. Finally got somebody to get in touch, and they had to airlift him to Glasgow. I don't know whether they did a heart bypass or stents or something like that. Yeah. Guy Stewart, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, he really enjoys it. He goes out, does a bit of filming, carry on camping with me. Yeah. I don't know if because it's like being in the same room as your wife, isn't it? I mean, the thing is with Stephen, there's just him and his dog. So if he talks and the dog don't talk back, it's not so bad. But living in the same, I mean, you can imagine what the weather's like in, I can't remember where I said it was. Yeah, go alone there, that'd work out, wouldn't it? So you're leaving me, so now I'm just leaving you. So what do you mean? So I was still married, but I'm going to live in this camper for 6 months because John told me I've got to. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Definitely, property has definitely gone up, yeah. I can't remember, I think those flats were only 60,000 because the idea of this place was they were going to sell it off as residential. And they couldn't, it was obviously a crash, so they couldn't sell it off as residential. So Fuerte Hotels took it over and started renting it out weekly as serviced apartments, weekly, or daily or whatever, and then a lot of people sort of bought them and they rent them out as well. But it's got quite, we went, believe it or not, we like to go in January. Well, I don't know what it's like in Menorca in January, but in the Costa del Sol, the Costa Tropical, as they call it, lovely. And we've been there and it's been 20 degrees in January. We've also been when it's been about 12 and it's not quite as much fun. Yeah, I bet it can, yeah. Yeah, because you're not as far over here. Even in England, it's crazy. The one I'm living in has doubled in price in the last 50 to 20 years. This house, believe it or not, we're just getting ready to get our endowment. And we paid the house up 8 years ago. 6 years ago. 6 years ago, that's when we paid it up. So the endowment's definitely paid off. But they said years ago, they said, oh, your endowment's not going to work. You're going to end up with no, not enough to pay off your house. So we went and did it on a payback mortgage and kept the endowment on as critical illness cover. And it would have just, or within 500 quid, it would have paid the mortgage off. But the way they were talking, you would end up with half and half of it. I'm in the process of selling my garage and half the garden. Would lose the man cave, but much better off with money. Yeah. Jan can be, yeah. Usually go earliest April. Bruce T, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, it's a good place to go, Costa del Sol, if you're looking for it. But we went one year and I paid £100 each for the flights, £200 for the apartment. And that was with TUI. A week's holiday cost me 500 quid, including the iCar. It'd be cheaper than being at home. Al Connor, how you doing? Gainsborough, Lincolnshire. UK. Where are you from, Al? I do enjoy these pop-up lives. It just seems to work better on a phone. You get a lot of different people. 1,600 for a week, all inclusive. Yeah. You try Benidorm one day, just to give you a go. 80 quid for a flight, that's good, isn't it? We paid, I think we paid, there's me, my two youngest grandchildren, my daughter and my wife. The youngest one's she's not 2 yet, so she goes on her mum's knee. The 4-year-old had to have her own seat. And we got a better price from Jet2 than what we could do it from with Ryanair. Ryanair was more expensive. Crazy, isn't it? You're from Manchester, nice. Oh, good, yeah. So we're going to Lincolnshire, about, 90 mile away or so? Other side of that there big hill. Obviously, we've got loads of people in from all over. Apparently, Hanky Panky is different. You're definitely different, mate. They only made one of you. Ryanair from Newquay was 600 quid return. Is that per person? Yeah, that's right, yeah. If I get on this time I'm not having extra leg room because I'm 6'3" with long legs. But I could get to Benidorm on a standard seat with Jet2, but I certainly couldn't on Ryanair. There's just no room. No room to put my legs in. It's awful. The only difference I found with them, no, for TUI, that's not bad to be fair. That's about what it used to be for this time of year. Jet2 can come up with some serious prices, but we always want to take, because we're going on holiday, we want to take loads of luggage. I suppose the good thing about it, if you've got your own place over there, you'll have a set of clothes over there and a set of clothes over here, and the only ones that will change over are the ones that you come home in, and then you go back in. So you can there's no check-in time, so you can pick any time, any flight, on any day, and it doesn't matter. £300 per night, yeah. I've looked for just two of us, and you can pay 500 quid a flight with Jet2 from East Midlands. Yeah, that's it. That is the thing. It's the you want to put your knees behind the seat, so that's another 100 quid. Oh, you're taking some luggage out, yeah. Well, that's £50 each way. So there you go. So there's another 300 quid on top of your flight. Jet2 Tenerife right now from Manny coming at 350 for 3 nights. Yeah, that's right. Cheap at the moment. Sometimes with them, I never really look at Manchester, to be honest, because it's a pain to get to. East Midlands for us, it'd be 45 minutes. You know, in the middle of the night when we sort of go, because it flies at 7. What's that one? Are you taking the Osmo Pocket? Oh, no, the yes, I am, mate, yeah. Yeah, I'm taking the Osmo, a couple of phones, this gimbal, and I've actually found a car mount that I've had forever that I can fasten the phone to. So you'll be able to do a drive round one. Mr. Intense, how you doing now? See you. I'm going to have to go very, very shortly because Sue comes in about 5 minutes. I did plan to start at 10 o'clock, but I couldn't get the microphones to work, and I found out I hadn't plugged the thing in far enough at the bottom. It's easy done, I suppose, but anyway, I kept saying, bloody thing won't connect. I say I'm on the Samsung tonight. I noticed there was a little bit of noise off the iPhone. You could just sort of pick it up. A little bit of did it. These Type-C connections seem much stronger than what Lightning does. Right, anyway, I'm going to have to go consume zone now. We'll catch you all soon. Thanks for bothering to come in. Please like and subscribe, because I need another few to get me over 300. Thanks for watching. Catch you soon. Bye-bye.